You having a nice laugh, are you?
Australian legends!
Hey! Sir, can you knock?
What's up, everyone? Adam from FWCI. This is Jimmy Carr's new Netflix stand-up, Natural Born Killer. Lovely title there, Jimmy. I'm sure this is going to be about as subtle as a kick square in the testicles. I think the last time I reacted to Jimmy Carr was his Darkest Material, which that video did amazing views. So chances are you probably saw my reaction to that and you're back for more, so I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed already as well, patreon.com/FWCI is where you can get it for $5 reduce. I'm reacting to Taskmaster at the moment, as well as Brooklyn, Schitt's Creek. What We Do in the Shadows is coming up soon. Maybe a couple other things in the pipeline. Not going to say too much. That's what you get on Patreon, early access to all that stuff. But let's see what Jimmy's got. It's always interesting watching these stand-up specials, especially over the last couple of years, because the world and society is changing, and more than ever, people seem to be divided and unable to agree on a lot of very sensitive subjects. And I'm sure Jimmy Carr is going to take a big fat shit on every single one of us. So I can't wait for it. This is Jimmy Carr, Natural Born Killer. That's how we started off, is we?
We're going to kick off our evening with some short, edgy jokes, get the measure of each other, see if we're going to be friends.
Alright, Jimmy, let's go.
I bought my girlfriend a bath bomb. I say that. Toaster. She was shocked.
Alright.
I was in Hong Kong. Their Chinatown is fucking massive. I've got a half-brother. Sorry, transgender.
Oh, God.
I write a lot of my jokes on my iPhone, but the autocorrect is always fucking up the lunch line.
That's a good joke. I like that one. That's classic.
Sure.
It's old school, yes. Applaud it. That is straight up comedy.
They've robbed us of our ability to concentrate, those mobile phones, yeah? A good example last week, before I'd even opened the calculator app, I checked my email, updated my Instagram, and hit a cyclist. Are you aware of the mobile phone secretly listening to your conversation?
Yeah.
It's creepy, right?
100%.
To a friend about the good old days, and then for the next 2 weeks you're bombarded with adverts for anal beads and butt plugs. When I masturbate, I always put my pinky up, so it looks like a fancy lady is fingering my arsehole. Do any couples in here watch porn together? Who watches porn as a couple? One bloke on his own. You're watching enough for two, are you? I was watching Gaping Anuses 3. Planet of the Gapes. And sure, I enjoyed it, but there were some pretty big holes in the plot. Your reaction to this joke tells me an awful lot about you as an audience. Doesn't change anything. It just tells me how much you're going to enjoy our time together. I was in a grocery store a couple of weeks ago. They had a special on. He was collecting the carts.
Oh my God, I love a great turn of phrase like that. I love it.
Is anyone here in a controlling relationship? Raise your partner's hand.
Come on.
I'm no good with ages, especially with young women. They could be mid-20s, they could be 15. You just don't know. But I couldn't tell how old she was, and I thought, well, I'm not taking a chance. Do you mind me asking, how old are you? She said, I'm 23. I said, I'm sorry for wasting your time. A two-word joke, and I'm quite pleased with this because I've written a joke for an unsung group within our society, a group that...
I love a good two-word joke, but...
Stepdads. We got any stepdads in?
Okay.
Oh, you're a stepdad here. What's your name, my friend? Daniel. Daniel, I've written you a joke, Daniel. Won't take long. It's only 2 words. Stepdads, motherfuckers.
Come on, man. We've been using that one for years. Any of my friends who had a stepdad is like, he's a motherfucker. Ah!
Is this the MILF in question? Very nice. Came with a bit of baggage. You can give a fuck. Good on you. Are there any vegans in? We got vegans in the house? There's one over there. What's your name, my vegan friend?
Anyone?
Well, Erica. Very nice to have you here, Erica. No, I'm not going to make jokes about vegan food. I think it would be tasteless. Is semen okay for vegans? What do you think, Erica?
I love semen.
Well done, Erica. Good for you.
Fair enough. Probably the only protein you're getting. And this lady in the front row was vegan. I said, is semen okay for vegans? And she went, human semen. Knife crime. Huge problem in the UK. What could be done? Well, simple solution. Guns. Hey, there's no knife crime in America, is there?
Yeah, that's a terrible, terrible notion there, Jimmy.
Have we got any Americans in?
We just had a knife stabbing spree here in Australia the other day.
We say pavement, the Americans would say sidewalk. We would say, I'm unarmed, don't shoot. They would say, oops. In America, the Supreme Court are stopping women from aborting fetuses. They don't feel, they haven't got hearts, they're brainless, yet somehow the Supreme Court are in charge.
Alright, solid joke.
Sure, I thought about all the options. Should I, take care of the problem? But then I thought, could I really take a human life?
Don't murder your girlfriend.
2, if you count the fetus.
There it is.
We'd spend a lot more time talking about, thinking about, debating abortion if we all knew how close we had come. If your parents were under the age of 20 when they had you.
No.
All right. Okay, so anyone applauding, you need to know there was a conversation. And that conversation didn't go Dad's way.
Jesus Christ, Jimmy.
Give me one of those if you're the youngest of 4.
Same
Well, you
story?
need to know there was a conversation.
I was the youngest of 3.
All right, give me one of those if you have a ginger-haired mum.
Nope.
Far fewer of those.
Dad got his way. Is that what he's saying?
And that's because sometimes dads really put their fucking foot down. Are any anti-vaxxers in? Is anyone here anti-vax? One person over there. What's your name, my friend? Rico. Rico. Sure. What I think we should do, we should have an opt-in, opt-out on the whole of Western medicine. Opt-in, opt-out. So you're either with us or you're not. So, no COVID vaccine, no problem, Rico. Good luck with the polio.
And they put his face on there? What the fuck?
This next joke might get me cancelled. Come on.
Didn't we go through this last time, Jimmy?
Transgender people aren't what they used to be.
That's not factually incorrect, I guess.
The 10 pronouns are he, she, they, them, it, gross, what is that?
Oh, that's pretty brutal.
My pronouns are he. Because I identify as a comedian. Every woman in this room has an ability no man on earth possesses. Every woman in here has the ability to make a perfect turban from a towel.
Yeah, how do you do that?
It's quite the feat of engineering. It's up in seconds. It's there for the day if you want it. Now, no man has ever even attempted such a thing. So if you have gender dysphoria, we're going to pop you in a shower. When you come out, we're going to throw you a towel. We're going to see how you do. If you make a perfect turban. If you floss yourself. Obviously, I'm not being transphobic because trans women are women. So, if anything, old-fashioned misogyny.
I guess it is. Or maybe old-fashioned comedy, perhaps?
Until 1979, globally, homosexuality was classified as a mental illness. Sorry, boss. No, I can't come in today. No, nothing like that. No, I can't stop thinking about dicks and balls and bums. Probably just a 24-hour thing. Yeah, No, I'll walk it off. Yep, in the park, yeah.
Oh, I knew that's where it was going.
To share a house with a woman who swore a ghost was having sex with her in her dreams. I thought, Jesus Christ. From now on, I've got to mash 2 pills into her food.
Oh, Jimmy. Why is the audience not still groaning at that?
Do you want to hear my rape fantasy? Someone goes to jail for rape. Telling jokes for that kind of subject matter, I'm going to get cancelled. That's the bad news. The good news is I'm going down swinging.
Oh, God, Jimmy.
And she was a good woman. She worked for a charity that helps the learning disabled, and she got cancelled over a typo. You know how the G and the T are right next to each other on the keyboard? At the end of the letter to the charity supporters was, kind regards.
Somebody should not get cancelled for something that petty and stupid, though, surely. What bullshit story are you telling here, Jimmy?
This woke nonsense, it's gone too far, hasn't it? When's it going to stop? We've even got a male queen now. The last time I got cancelled, I upset the gypsies. Thankfully, they've moved on.
Yeah, I remember that. They've moved on. Come on.
On the day of the cancellation, I'm going to make a statement, a public statement. I'm going to say, I've rehearsed this, I'm going to say, I'm sorry. And the people that I've offended will say, you don't really mean that apology. And I'll say, so you're saying I could say something and not mean it. Now you're getting it.
Yay! That's a great comeback.
It's an amazing expression. I'm sorry you feel that way. It's got all the fuck you attitude. You know what you mean. They know what you mean. They can't touch you for it. I'm sorry you feel that way. Good luck with that. Oh, you might as well have shat in their oven. And they're sat at home now, online, trying to get me cancelled. And to those people I say, I'm sorry you feel that way. Good luck with that.
I love that. That was a very decent, like, overall bit. Like, introducing all those different elements for that last little punchline. It was decent.
God is going to get cancelled. Strap in, this is happening.
Alright, let's go.
So the Holy Spirit fucked Mary. Mary never heard from the Holy Spirit again. Talk about getting ghosted. Do you think when Mary was fucking Joseph and Joseph made Mary come, Mary shouted, God! Awkward, that's her ex! Came up to me after a show, like very earnestly, and went, Jesus died for your sins. I thought, oh great, so now I've killed the Son of God and 2 prostitutes.
I get weird Jesus-y messages on some of my videos as well. It's always odd.
Look, I tell these jokes now. I'm an atheist now. I wasn't always. I was raised Catholic, used to go to church all the time. Late teens, early 20s, I thought I might want to be a priest.
Yeah. Right.
But fundamentally, I've just never found kids that attractive. We are a little bit tight for time, so I probably can't do my Islamic bit.
Is that why?
They make jokes about Christians all day long, but he won't make the same sort of jokes about Muslims. Well, then maybe, as a Christian, you should think about blowing something up.
God, don't think about that. That's not good advice.
What are the Christians going to do? Forgive me. Some people consider my boy's name to be somewhat unusual, but then they see his little face, and he does just look like an Adolf.
Oh, no. No.
Never hear about a, are we keeping it party? 11 weeks into the pregnancy, and you've baked a cake. Is it shaped like a baby or a vacuum cleaner?
Imagine if the world was chilled out enough that people actually could do that.
And we found the only thing that calmed him down was to be in the car with the engine running. Pro tip, open the garage door. If you don't open the garage door, you run a very real risk of Rico.
Rico, you're taking a lot of hits for us in this show.
People that get freaked out by breastfeeding in public, they can fuck off, I'm right?
Yeah.
Sometimes daddy gets thirsty.
You can fuck off in that case, you creep.
Has a soft bit on the top of its head where the skull is yet to fully form. Why are they telling me that? So I know the weak spot if the baby attacks. My girlfriend wants me to have my sperm frozen, just in case she ever wants to have, you know, a cum-flavoured popsicle.
Christ. Just imagining Jimmy Carr sitting there writing his jokes. Ah, yes, cum-flavoured popsicle. Yeah, that's a good line. All right, I'm going to have a sandwich and go take a nap.
What are dads actually doing? Dads are, at best, babysitting their own children until mum gets back.
You know, in my house growing up, that's pretty much what it was.
And I realise that is disrespectful to stay-at-home dads, but seriously, what are those pussies going to do? Have we got any stay-at-home dads in? Of course not. They're at home. I'll pitch you, ladies, being a dad. Being a dad, it's like being royalty within your own home. I get wheeled out for big occasions and social opportunities. They're bleeding. Mums are in the fight. Dads, we're more like corner men. We're sat on a stool, shouting encouragement. I'm squirting shit in her mouth, she's spitting into a bucket. It's fine, we've been together a long time. It's my job to throw in the towel, but first I'm going to have to ask her where we keep the towels. Do you ever get asked to do a job around the house? You don't like the sound of it, so you do it really badly the first time, so you never get asked again? Well, long story short, I didn't like the sound of bathing the baby.
Jimmy, who did you nearly kill?
Oh, well, I'll check on it when I get back. It's not just the kids. They got a wonderful surprise on Christmas morning when they tear open their gifts. Us dads are sat there thinking, oh, I wonder what we got them. I tell edgy jokes, and I was worried becoming a dad, I'd get all sentimental and I would lose some of that edge. So I'm going to tell you a story now, true story. I don't tell many true stories on stage, so please indulge me. This is from the day I became a father. So, if you've not had kids, you won't know.
I don't have kids, and honestly, when comedians start talking about fatherhood and having kids, I get a little bit bored. Full disclosure, just so you know, that's why there's probably a bunch of the jokes that just were on are not going to make the final cut, because they don't make me laugh, because I don't know, it's like, yeah, okay, they're funny, but I don't know, they just bore me, I guess.
34 weeks into the pregnancy, we had a medical emergency. We got rushed to hospital. We had to have an emergency cesarean section at 34 weeks, which was gut-wrenching.
Jesus, that doesn't sound good. Gut-wrenching, Christ.
I'd never seen the baby grows for a premature baby. If you've not seen them, they're heartbreakers. You can't believe a human being could fit into something so fragile and delicate and tiny. I took them up to the counter, and this lovely lady behind the counter said, "Do you want the coat hangers?" I said, "I think it's a bit late for that." Oh, the relief! I'd been a dad about 90 minutes. I thought, this changes nothing!
I still have that compulsion to make these jokes.
And then I did want the coat hangers, and she didn't want to give them to me. My girlfriend put me on the spot recently. She said, "What are my 10 best features?" I said, "I like your optimism." And you're from?
Australia.
Australia. Which bit of Australia?
Sydney.
Sydney.
From Sydney, Australia.
Okay.
Good work, Chris.
Remember the hammers, man, in my mind. It's your classic middle-class proposal. It's a cliche, but it's a cliche because it works for people. And that's as distinct from the working class proposal, a little bit different. That's where the woman, not the man, thank you very much, where the woman pisses on a stick. We're getting married.
Just like that. Oh, God.
10.5 years. Okay, what's your name, madam?
Daniela.
Daniela. Hi, Daniela. And what's your name, sir?
Louis.
Daniela, do you want to know why Louis hasn't asked you to marry him? Because I could tell you. I could see it from here.
What are you going to say?
He's a dreamer, and he thinks one day he could do better.
Oh. Jimmy.
But I don't want you to worry. One day he will give up and settle.
That is absolutely brutal.
What is your mother-in-law when you think about it, gentlemen? It's Christmas future. Have you met her mum?
Yes.
You have? Okay. So if you picture her mum now, in your mind's eye, if you can't imagine yourself hanging out the back of it, would you fuck her mum? I'm going to need an answer on this. A yes or a no? It's got to be a yes or a no. Yes. You're saying yes. But you're going to morph into your mum over the next 25 years. There's nothing we can do about that. That is just nature. And your mum is, let's assume, a fucking state. All right, what age are you, Jacob?
19.
19, Jacob. Jacob, we're going to have the talk. Have you had the talk with your dad?
No.
Well, don't worry, Jacob. I'm your daddy now.
Oh, God. I never had the talk with either of my parents.
Consent has become very popular.
That's a just.
So a thumbs up to "May I kiss you" will not ever give you blanket cover for the evening, Jacob. You can't then assume the fucking and the anal and the facial. No, Jacob.
Poor Jacob's getting this talk now. This is not good for him. It'd be fucking embarrassing.
Who thinks it ruins the romance to ask for consent at every stage of a sexual encounter? Well, you may be rapists.
I mean, if it's with somebody you've never met, then obviously you got to do what you got to do. But if it's with like a partner or somebody that you're with all the time, then obviously you're in your own thing. You understand each other's energy.
Communication, Jacob. Talk to the girl that you're with. Fuck being embarrassed. Fuck being shy. Talk to the girl.
Yes, well done. Great advice. I'm too shy is not an excuse.
Do you mind if I touch you there? Is it okay if we try this? Is it in yet? Consent could be half the fun, because really consent, all it is dirty talk done right. But how do I do dirty talk right, Jimmy?
Yeah, that's a good point there, Jimmy.
Stage 2, say what you want to happen. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be, I want to fuck you. You'd struggle to mess it up, Jacob. You're a bright boy. There's no bad questions. Ask what you want. Do you want a thumb in your bum? Will you put your thumb in my bum? Yes does not always mean yes. I'll explain. So if a girl says yes to sex with you, but she says it through gritted teeth, like she's in a fucking horror movie. Yes, Jacob, I want you to fuck me. Don't.
That's terrifying and scary. That shit definitely does happen. And some dickhead is like, well, she said yes.
Okay, well, look, we've covered the basics. You seem like a bright boy. Should we take it up a gear?
God, where do we go from here?
To tell when a woman is ovulating. Yeah, that's women giggling and men going, what?
No, I'm just laughing at the word ovulating. It's a funny word.
The best advice I've ever had on women, dating, and relationships. Tonight, you become a man. This is some fucking Lion King shit.
What are you doing here, Jimmy?
Don't stick your dick in crazy.
Good advice. Good advice.
I want you to view that woman as you would a food blender. Have you got a food blender in the house? Of course you have. You ever put your dick in it? No. Real smart. Same. You might be thinking even now, yeah, but what if it's a supermodel from Paris? Well, if it is, and she's talking to you, she's definitely fucking mental. Aware, Jacob, there are different types of consent.
Sure, yeah.
Talk us through them, Jacob.
Talk us through them, arsehole. Enthusiastic and regular, I guess.
There's consent to get your dick out, Jacob. I'm going to give you some scenarios, right? You've just got to tell me yes or no, is it a good time to get your dick out? You up for this, Jacob? Give him some encouragement. Jacob, everyone.
All right, Jacob, good luck with this one, buddy. This is a big night for you.
She answers the door. She's all dressed up for the date. You're stood there, dick out, ding dong. What do you think, Jacob, yes or no?
That's a no.
That's a no is the right answer.
All right, good work, Jacob. You're on the right path.
You're having dinner with the girl. It's going great. The conversation is flowing easily.
Can I just jump in early and say, no, you shouldn't have your dick out?
You say, look, enjoy dessert, but leave room for this sweet dick. What do you think, Jacob, yes or no?
Maybe.
Maybe. Come on, Jimmy. Wind it back to the start for poor Jacob.
You're in a restaurant. Yes or no, Jacob?
Okay, no.
Is the right answer.
Jacob's got jokes.
Sidebar, you make the noise in your head. Wetter than a penguin on a slip and slide. What do you think, Jacob? Good time to get your dick out?
Yes.
No, Jacob!
Oh, you still have to ask.
Never! Look at me! Don't get your dick out! Bad boy! Dirty boy! Let her get your dick out.
Good end to that joke. Very interesting final bit there with Jacob. Before I started this, I was saying it's interesting, every time a comedian does something, they tend to lean one way or the other. And that bit there at the end was Jimmy Carr being very, very intelligent with how he got a positive message across in his, incredibly shocking and, offensive stand-up comedy set. And that end bit, I really appreciate him doing that, because that's a side of that conversation that's not really addressed in a way that, a lot of younger guys really want to even hear about. And comedy can be used for very positive reasons, and I think we got a taste of that at the end of this. With that being said, the rest of it was typical Jimmy Carr. You got what you expect. I don't know, is there something about the kiddie jokes that he's been making? There's a lot of them. I tend to get kind of just over those jokes a little bit as they sort of go on. Like one or two here or there, if they're really, really good, it's just funny. But I think he overdid that a little bit in this one, and maybe that was to sort of placate the people that are saying that he has lost a step and that his last stand-up was too woke, which I definitely saw comments of that on my reaction. A lot of people saying that. But I didn't notice anything in this that was overly shocking or offensive or anything like that. I think it was just typical comedy. Again, some of it was a little bit lowbrow, but the rest of it was all good quality comedy. And you can have good quality comedy that's still lowbrow. It's just a matter of getting the right balance for that. And for the most part, I thought this was a pretty good special, and I especially liked the bit at the end where he was talking about consent with the dude in the crowd, because it's a very important topic, and Jimmy Carr is somebody that has the ear of people that probably need to hear that message. So for that, I think it was good. But let me know in the comments what you thought about this one. Don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube if you haven't already, and go to patreon.com/FWCI if you want to support the channel further. And as always, everyone, be well, stay safe, look after your friends, see you in the next video. Peace!